morning, guys. Right after Christmas here, a nice, warm, muggy, foggy Christmas morning. Heading out to a job where I was at, trying to do a inspection last week, and there was no power, so there's supposedly power this week, so I'm heading down there, and we will see if it is working properly. It looked fine, but I have to wait until we see it in action. Alright guys, we have power now, obviously. Blower came on, so we're going to check the heater amps, make sure the heat strips are working and all that good stuff, and then we can move outside and check the charge. Got 2.8 on the blower amps. I put the unit into emergency heat, but I see that it's not coming on just yet, so we'll see if it's wired up on the thermostat. Sometimes they're left unwired. We're wired in there on the brown wire, so let's see where that brown wire goes. Make sure it's hooked up on the other end. Here's our wire for the thermostat, and as you can see, if you look down there at the brown wire, on the middle wire there, it's still wrapped up. So we're going to take that loose and wire it into the whites, which is W2, which you turn our sequencer on, and in turn that turns the blower on. The fan's already set to on, but this wire coming off the sequencer would turn the blower on otherwise. So let me go ahead and rewire that, and we'll move on. It's a pretty simple task. Even though I'm doing an inspection, I'll go ahead and knock that out since it's pretty easy. We got 5 kW on right now. We'll wait to see the other 5 kW comes on here in a second. If so, I'll move on to testing the refrigerant pressure and heating and cooling. Up here in the corner, you'll see there's a blower relay. The blower is running continuously even after I shut it off. And what I had to do was I actually took out my little Harbor Freight level and tapped it on the side, and relay disengaged, so that relay will probably need to be replaced as well because it is sticking. So some small issues so far, nothing major. I'm going to seal it back up and see if the relay sticks again. If it does, I mean, we can't help it. It needs to be replaced, but this is just an inspection, so I'll give them an idea of what needs to be done. Like this thermostat wire right here is run inside the filter rack, needs to be moved. Like a hole needs to be put like in the top and run down the side or something. So we'll see. Let me get outside and we'll see what's going on out there, guys. Alright, the Z manifold is set up in the jungle here. Running and cooling. We'll let her run for a few minutes and I'll hook up the temperature clamps to it. See how she does. Alright guys, we got 39 degree suction lines going back up around 40 and a 74.3 degree liquid line. Make sure that's right. Going down a little bit. But right around there, 74. So if we look over at our suction gauge, we have a temperature about 32 or 34. So we got about 5 or 6 degrees of superheat. It's a TXV, and we over here on the high side gauge, and we're looking at around in the upper 70s there. So not a whole lot of subcooling. So it looks like we might be a little bit low on charge. It's like we only have about 2 or 3 degrees of subcooling. So our head pressure is below 150, which is a little bit low for a day like today when we were in the 70s. So after I'm done here, I'll probably scan the interior coil for leaks. Kind of do a little quick scan out here as well. So we'll see what we find. Definitely a little high on head and amps. Set it off. Way too high on head and amps right there. So we're going to see perhaps airflow issues. Guys, I found 3 or 4 outlets with there's a little sidewall style outlets. Not sidewall, like the ones that come out where the floor moldings are. A lot of them, 2 or 3 of them are closed. So I open those up and see if it makes a difference. I can't imagine it's going to be drastic because there are several of them in the house. So we'll see what kind of difference it makes. It appears to have made little difference. So we're going to have to investigate airflow. Obviously, they only pay for a certain amount on these inspections, so I'll tell them I need to come back, check the airflow. We got to make some repairs anyway. The crossover duct's been chewed on by animals. Pretty stereotypical, but there's a few repairs to be made, adjustments to be made to the charge. Can't really adjust the charge up with it like this, so we're gonna have to come to some compromise, but we've run out of time for the inspection.